Hello again, my name is Chris Ganesh, and I congratulate you for finishing the last session. Today, I want to give you this video just to talk a little bit more about STERBs and give you a better idea where to look for them. What are STERBs? When we experience grief, the emotional pain can feel overwhelming, like it's too much to bear. To protect ourselves, we often turn to activities or habits that temporarily distract us from the pain or help us feel better in the moment. These are what we call STERBs, short-term energy relieving behaviors. Let me give you some examples. You might find yourself driving to work and keeping busy to avoid thinking about your loss. Perhaps you reach for comfort food, alcohol, or even excessive exercise to escape your feelings. Or you spend hours scrolling on your phone or binge watching TV to distract yourself. But here's the challenge. STERBs don't address the underlying emotions or pain. They're like putting a band-aid on a deep wound. It covers the surface, but the wound underneath remains untreated. And if we rely on STERBs for too long, they can create patterns of avoidance that make it harder for us to truly heal. And here's the impact on STERBs on healing. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with unresolved grief. STERBs might help you forget about the weight for a little while, but they don't lighten the load. Over time, that unresolved grief can show up in other ways, feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or even physically unwell. Healing doesn't come from avoiding the pain. It comes from acknowledging and working through it. That's why recognizing your STERBs is such an important step. When you're aware of how you're coping, you can begin to shift from temporary relief to meaningful healing. So, how do we identify our STERBs? Let's take a moment to reflect. What are the activities or habits you turn to when you're feeling overwhelmed by grief? Are there patterns you notice, like always keeping busy or seeking comfort in food or entertainment? There's no judgment there. The goal is simply to become aware of these behaviors so you can start to understand the role they play in your life. Okay, so what are the key takeaways? STERBs are natural coping mechanisms that provide temporary relief but don't address the root of grief. They're not bad or wrong, but relying on them can make it harder to heal in the long term. Recognizing your STERBs is the first step to moving beyond them and finding true healing. As we move forward in this program, you'll learn tools to process your grief in a healthy, lasting way. The goal is not to avoid the pain, but to work through it so you can find peace and reclaim your joy. Remember, healing is a journey, and you're taking an important step today. Keep reflecting your STERBs and how they show up in your life. Together, we'll work to transform short-term relief into lifelong healing. I'm so proud of you taking these steps. Keep reflecting on yourself and look at what you're doing to avoid your pain of loss. See you next session. I'm excited.